Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Retail Now 2026 Town Hall. I'm Jim Roddy, President and CEO of the RSPA. We are so glad that you are here today joining us. We are fired up because we're only 94 days and just under 6 hours away from kicking off Retail Now 2026, where the industry meets July 26th through 28th at Caesars Forum in Las Vegas. So before we talk about the show, if you're not familiar with the RSPA, we are North America's largest community of VARs, software providers, vendors, and distributors in the retail, restaurant, and grocery vertical markets. We're a fit for any organization that's serious about growth in those markets. So many companies have been members for decades, and we frequently add startup tech companies because we accelerate their growth and they see the massive ROI that RSPA membership offers. In fact, we have right around 750 member companies. We've added right around 130 over the past 12 months. So this is a growing and vibrant community. So if you're serious about growth in the retail IT channel and you want to receive the discounted RSP member rate to attend or exhibit Retail Now, email us at membership@gorspa.org. That's membership@gorspa.org. And so we are going to share a lot related to Retail Now 2026 today. You see the URL on your screen right now, gorspa.org/Retail Now. That's going to have a lot of details, and that is where you go to register as well. And also, you can just type into Google Retail Now or Retail Now 2026, and we should be the first result that comes up. All right, so for today's town hall, we have four presenters. Joining me is Heather Monroe-Broussard. She's one of our member services managers. Chris Arnold is our director of member services and marketing. And we have Kathy Meter, who's our vice president of events and education. And I'll turn it over to Kathy. She's going to give us the lay of the land here for today's town hall. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Jim. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Just a couple of housekeeping notes. All lines are muted for today's call. We will be taking questions, and you can submit those questions using the question box in your function panel. You'll see a screenshot of it right up on the screen now. We did receive some questions ahead of time with registrations, so we'll be addressing those as well. And everyone who registered will get a link to the recording of this meeting. It is being recorded, so you will be able to share it with others on your team. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Kathy. And if you're wondering why Kathy sounds like she's on her cell phone, it's because she is. She is about less than an hour away from Honors Day at her youngest daughter, Katie's high school, and Katie's being honored there. So congratulations, Kathy, Katie, and family. So, all right, now we'll turn it over to Heather to introduce and I'll call recognition to our sponsors. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for the quick intro. So let's thank our sponsors for this year and for Retail Now. We have our Retail Now 2026 event sponsors. We want to thank Blue Star, Intel, Linga, Corona POS, Order Counter, Pecan POS, Sola, and Spot On. Our gold annual sponsors are Blue Star, CoCard, Epson, Global Payments, and ScanSource. With our silver annual sponsors, Corona POS, Microtouch, Round 2 POS, Star Micronics, and Verifone. We have our bronze annual sponsors, APG, AutoStar, CRS, DataCap Systems, Esper, Food Hub for Business, Ingenico, Kitchen Armor, Landy, MS Cash Drawer, National Retail Solutions, Order Counter, Pecan POS, Shift4, Supersonic POS, TD Synnex, Toshiba, Touch Dynamic, Volcara.
All right, we'll turn it over to Chris Arnold. Chris, take us home the rest of the way with community sponsors and media and association partners, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it. And just to be respectful of everyone's time, I will not read each company name off through our community sponsors, but I do want to take a quick minute to thank all the sponsors of the RSPA Canadian, Cannabis, Niche and Startup ISV, Women to Women, Next Gen Leadership, and VAR Business Growth and Development communities. Again, thank you all for your support. We truly appreciate it. Again, I won't read each media and association partner individually, but thank you to this group of organizations that we've aligned our association with to ensure more inclusion, diversity, and enhanced educational offerings to the community. We look forward to working with each of them closer throughout the years.
Thank you, Chris. And you can see the RSPA is very well connected to the entire retail IT channel ecosystem. All right, so what is the agenda for today's town hall? We have it broken up in a few different sections. First, why attend Retail Now 2026? What makes this show different from the others? We'll give an update on registration, exhibit hall space, and sponsorships. Also, we'll talk about networking. What should folks expect if for networking at Retail Now 2026? Kathy's going to share some education highlights, and then we'll get in some general event information. And at the end, we will answer your questions. And again, as Kathy mentioned at the outset, just drop in your question anytime, and we'll be happy to answer that at the end of the program. All right, so first start off, what is Retail Now? So for folks who are not familiar with the show, we say it's where the industry meets, right? You can go to a lot of other user conferences or partner conferences, but you're only going to get the ecosystem of that distributor, that hardware manufacturer, that software provider. But at Retail Now, you get to meet all the distributors in the retail IT channel ecosystem, all the leading software providers, hundreds and hundreds of VARs, not just those who are working with a handful of vendors as well. So it truly is where the industry meets, the entire cross section of the retail IT channel. There's no merchants, no end users, but the business categories are VARs, right? The value-added resellers, ISVs, right? Independent software vendors, ISOs, those folks who tend to lead with payments, but also sell solutions, other solutions as well. Hardware manufacturers, vendors, payment processors, distributors, managed service providers. It's all solution providers that are playing in the restaurant, retail, and grocery verticals, and all the different sub verticals that are underneath. So again, no end users, no merchants, but if you're exhibiting at the show, you get to meet with software providers, VARs, other solution providers who are working with 50, 100, 500, 1,000 different merchants, and that's where you can really make the connections and expand your reach that way. And so you might say, okay, so with all these folks together, what ends up happening? So you can meet potential partners who can grow your sales and your bottom line. We're anticipating over 1,600, again, emerging technology vendors, plus these trusted solution providers. Also, you're going to see this year, you get to experience at Retail Now, the #1 AI resource for the retail IT channel. We have been efforting ever since Retail Now last year to build up lots and lots of AI resources inside of the community. In fact, we've launched an AI advisory group that has given the association a lot of guidance in terms of what education, what guidance do we need to provide. We have about 70 folks who are part of that AI advisory group. Many of them are going to be attending Retail Now, right? There's a lot of noise out there for AI. You can cut through the noise about it and find out what your business should do going forward at Retail Now. Also, this is a great opportunity to stand up for the channel, right? So you can learn, VARs and ISVs can learn, grow with each other, and also push back against those margin obliterating, VC-backed, 800 number, one-size-fits-all POS providers who don't believe in the channel the way that we do. So great opportunity to meet folks, to learn, and then also band together and work as a community to make the channel grow and thrive as much as we can. Now, we do have to say one thing. This is the what about Retail Now, but I have to clarify one thing. So the event this year is at Caesars Forum, and oftentimes in Vegas. Oftentimes when you hear Caesars Forum in Vegas, you think of the Forum shops at Caesars. That is not the case here, right? We are not having the event at the Forum shop at Caesars. And then sometimes when you hear Caesars in Vegas, you think of Caesars Palace, which is where we had Retail Now last year. Retail Now 2026 is not at Caesars Palace. It is at the very new Caesars Forum Conference Center, which is across the street from the Forum shop and Caesars Palace. It's attached to Harrah's and Link, those hotels. We'll get into those in a little bit in terms of the discount that we have there as well. So again, it's Caesars Forum Conference Center, not Caesars Palace, not the Forum shops at Caesars. I don't know why they called it Caesars Forum Conference Center. They could have called it like Wayne Newton Conference Center to avoid all the conflict and any confusion, but that's where we will be Want to be very clear to make sure folks show up at the right place and register at the right room block at those hotels. All right, so let's dig a little bit deeper into Retail Now and look back last year. Chris, can you please take us through Retail Now 2025 by the numbers?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Happy to do it. As many of us know on this call, last year's event was a huge hit, attracting over 1,500 attendees that represented more than 500 companies. We also saw a sold out show floor with over 174 exhibitors. Again, building off the success of last year and all the years prior, this year's event is on pace to see the same volume of participants and exhibitors, probably an uptick even, all looking to connect, partner, and learn together. Speaking of learning together, as many of us know, Retail Now is the #1 retail IT channel show for connections and education. With education, we continue to work with our community to present the best, most relevant content for the community. Kathy will share in a little bit what's on the agenda for this year. But looking back at last year, we hosted about 20 education sessions. And the top 3 sessions for reference were winning against one size fits all POS, how bars and ISVs can compete on more than just price. Then we had more than just tech, how successful bars sell smart, scalable solutions to merchants. And then last but certainly not least, smarter, faster, leaner, how bars use ChatGPT to do more with less. Again, this is just a look back on last year, but I'm going to turn it over to Heather, who can share a little bit more about who will be at Retail Now this year.
Yeah, so who will be there? Jim touched base a little bit on this a little bit earlier, but your VARs will be there. These are your traditional resellers, your MSP, your managed service providers, and your ISOs looking to grow into the VAR business model. We also have our DISDs, which are direct independent software developers. These consist of niche software developers. Our ISVs are the software providers with a channel. And just to note, about half of our exhibitors will be ISVs. Our vendors will be exhibiting. These are your hardware manufacturers, your payment processes, and your service providers, and distributors. This is the one place where you can meet every leading IT retail distributor in one location. And we expect to have about 1,600+ attendees.
Very good. Thank you, Heather. And for anybody who hasn't experienced Retail Now before, it's not like competitors turning their backs on one another. It is an incredibly collaborative environment. All these folks will be looking together. So if you've never attended Retail Now before, great opportunity to meet with these folks and start working with them. All right, so let's look at the agenda for the event. The cadence of the agenda has changed a little bit. It is still a Sunday night through Tuesday afternoon show, but the way that we're doing things in order has changed up a little bit based on the feedback from the community. So let's take it one day at a time, like we always should. So Sunday, July 27th, the ISV community reception. So that group kicks off from 4 to 5 p.m. That's followed by the first look welcome reception from 5 to 7 p.m. That is where we open up the show floor. In the past, it's been 90 minutes. Based on feedback, we're expanding that to 2 hours this year. So it's an opportunity for folks to get to cross paths with each other for the first time, oftentimes in a year. You can also visit a lot of vendors to start off. We will also have a lot of food on the show floor as well. So it's not like a sit down dinner or anything like that, but there is plenty of food to keep you going throughout the night. But again, we call it the first look welcome reception. Great opportunity for folks to hang out and then meet some vendors at their booths for the first time. And then followed by that is going to be the women to women community event from 7 until 8 p.m. All right, and then we've got a full day on Monday, July 28th. We're kicking off at 8 a.m. with the first set of education breakouts. Also, we're going to, anybody who attends those education breakouts, you'll be able to grab breakfast right before you head into the breakout room there. So again, we'll have concurrent breakout sessions from 8 to 8:45. Then that's followed by the general session. In the past, it's been in the afternoon. We're moving that up to the morning. So that'll be from 9 to 10:25 a.m. We're going to have that really revamped this year, where past years it's been very heavy on awards. We're going to make sure that we have some speakers there that are talking about what's around the corner for the industry. So you won't want to miss that again. Get up early for the education breakouts, followed by the general session. Then we've got 5 hours in the expo hall from 10:30 to 3:30 p.m. And if you're saying, wait a second, 10:30 to 3:30, when am I going to eat lunch? We provide that for you on the show floor. I know there are some shows that I go to that extend over the lunch hour, and you've got to go fight your way in line and pay for something and even find a place, sitting on the stairs or something like that. This year, we have a much larger expo hall, and so there's going to be plenty of seating for everybody. And again, you can just grab your lunch and go have a seat. There's going to be seats, as you'll see in a little bit, mixed in the show floor, and then some that are in the back of the show floor. So again, that's 5 hours on Monday with the opportunity for you to grab lunch between 12 and 1. And then after the expo hall closes at 3:30, you'll have your second set of education breakouts, 3:45 to 4:30 p.m. And then those are followed by the Canadian community event from 4:30 to 5:30, the Next Gen Leadership Community from 5:30 to 6:30, and then tons of vendors are hosting receptions, and a lot of folks go and have dinner with some of their top partners on Monday night. And then on Tuesday, we start off with a continental breakfast on the show floor. That starts at 9 o'clock, and that's the exact same time that the expo hall opens for another 4 hours from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then again, you'll see from noon to 1, also you can grab lunch on the show floor. So Tuesday is going to have, again, 4 hours in the expo hall and plenty of opportunities for you to grab some breakfast and grab some lunch. But don't go home after the expo hall closes. That's when we'll have our final 2 education breakout sessions. You can see the first session will be starting at 1:30 p.m., followed by the next session that will go until 3 p.m. So again, that is the agenda. You can see you can get a whole lot done inside of 24 hours, right? You can fly into Vegas on Sunday, and then you can go and leave on Tuesday evening and still attend where the industry meets in the #1 trade show in the industry. Again, as I mentioned, you'll see the opportunity for meals on the show floor. And then this year, because last year we had a really, really tight expo hall, so we had like almost no seating whatsoever. This year, we're going to have plenty of seating for everybody and a very, very busy, jam-packed agenda, which we are looking for. And again, I know I'm overemphasizing this, but I just want to be sure that everybody knows we are not at the Forum Shops at Caesars. We are not at Caesars Palace. That was last year. This is this year. This year, we are at the new Caesars Forum Conference Center attached to the Link and Harrah's across the street from Caesars Palace. Make sure you are there. Again, they could have called it the Elvis Presley Conference Center in order to clear up confusion, but they did not. But we will figure it out this year, and everybody ends up in the right place. All right, so that expo hall will be inside Caesars Forum Conference Center. Chris, give us some more details about what folks should expect in the expo hall, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to expand and reiterate a little more on the opportunities to connect. As Jim was alluding to, attendees will have 11 hours on the show floor to connect with exhibitors. Again, we're kicking off those conversations and connections right off the bat during the Sunday evening first look welcome reception on the show floor. So we'll kick it right off on Sunday evening. To better even maximize the time on the show floor, Jim alluded to it, but there will be networking lunches on both Monday and Tuesday, plus a Tuesday continental breakfast available. All the meals will be served in the back of the expo hall. Again, we don't want anybody leaving the floor. We want you to maximize that time and be able to make as many connections as possible. All right, and then the expo hall map. We just wanted to give everyone a reminder. This is available on the RSPA RetailNOW website, but be sure to check back periodically as the show floor map is updating almost daily. We're about 85% sold out of our current inventory, and sales are definitely ramping up as we get closer to the show. But just a little bit about the map for VARs. This map is a great resource to build out your journey on the show floor, to map out where everyone's located, who you want to connect with, and who's going to be there. But before we get there, just a quick tour of the expo hall. As you'll see in the bottom middle of the map is where all attendees will enter the show floor. Once you cross that door threshold, you will be met with a potential partner in every which way. You'll enter in the middle of the show floor. For our vendors who are looking at this screen, the blue spaces are our reserve booths. The gray squares are the available booths. If you do not have a booth, please be sure to contact membership and secure your space before it's too late. The small white circles clustered towards the back of the expo hall, as well as those in the 2 groups of 4 in the middle of the show floor map represent the tables and seating that Jim was mentioning for areas for meals and those conversations. The smaller gray rectangles at the top of the image of the screen are our tabletop displays. These are a great opportunity for anyone that's a first or second year exhibitor that's trying to get a feel for the show and find a kind of an all-in-one way to exhibit at the show. So if you're a first or second year, please reach out to membership and we'll help you get one of those secured. And back by popular demand is our donut wall and coffee station. As you see, we do have a little graphic of donuts pointing to it, but these will be available in booth 1237, pictured at the top right. But that's a little tour of our expo hall map. But again, be sure to check back frequently as this is constantly updating with new potential partners.
Thank you, Chris. And if somebody wants a booth, what's the best way for them to go about that?
Yeah, reach out to membership at gorspa.org and we will be happy to help you make that happen.
Very good. Like Chris mentioned, this Expo Hall map is interactive. It's available on the RetailNOW website, and so not only can you can hover over each booth and see who that is, you also see the full list in alphabetical order to see who they are. I should also note, in order to keep our staff health insurance rates down, our RSPA's booth is over in 240, the opposite of the donut wall. So last year we were right next to it, but to keep our rates low, we made sure we moved across there. So Chris, anything else you want to mention on the Expo Hall before we talk about vendor meeting space?
No, I think that covers it well.
Very good. Thank you much. Heather, what is up with vendor meeting space?
Well, as we had last year, we do have meeting space available again this year. This is great for partner meetings, partner training, or if you want to host a reception. Space is limited, so you can either reach out to the membership email that we've alluded to throughout the presentation, or you can contact either myself or Nicole Green or Peggy Fry, your member service manager, and we'll be happy to share with you what is available. And let's face it, this is the most affordable way to host a partner event in Vegas by far. So if you're interested in meeting space, reach out to one of us or any members on the team, and we will be happy to provide that information for you.
Heather, keep us going. Can you share the community events that we're going to have? Some more details on those.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have community events. Our first one, our ISV community will be hosting Sunday, July 26th, 4 to 5 p.m. Followed after the Have a First Look reception, we'll have the Women to Women communities. This will be Sunday, July 26th from 7 to 8 p.m. And then on Monday, we have our Canadian community hosting Monday from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. And our Next Gen community will be hosting a reception Monday, July 27th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m.
Very good. Thank you, Heather. Again, everybody stay tuned for additional details on these community events. And if you want to get more involved in any of these communities, these are year-round communities, email that magic email address, membership@gorspa.org. Be more than happy to get you involved. All right, very curious. Let's turn it back over to Kathy Meter. Kathy, can you share with us some highlights about RetailNOW 2026 education, please?
Sure. Thanks, Jim. So we had well over 55 call for speaker proposals submitted for our 18 sessions. So there was a lot of really great content to choose from. We had over 20 submissions for our 4 AI slots. So there will be a lot of really great educational content during the show. So you won't want to miss that. And as Jim mentioned, be sure to stick around Tuesday after the show floor closes for sessions 3 and 4. I wanted to just share some highlights for the different tracks. Please keep an eye on the RetailNOW website. We are finalizing decisions this week and next, and so we will update that website with speaker information, session titles, and information so you can begin thinking about which sessions you will attend. We do have 5 tracks again this year. We have our executive education track. One of the sessions that we have selected is the M&A playbook for VARs and ISVs, a practical guide to buying or selling. Mergers and acquisitions has been a very hot topic in the community over the past several years, so we'll be focusing a session there. We also have our ISV track, Winning the Merchant, how ISV scales through partnerships. We will continue to have the sales and customer service track. One of the sessions that we've chosen is Leading Better Sales Conversations, how VARs and ISVs win with high value deals. The Retail IT Industry Essentials track is back this year. Stop running a help desk, how VARs can scale smarter support models. And then finally, we'll have an AI education track. So this is a track dedicated to AI education. Now, I will say, you will see AI education sprinkled throughout the show. It's not that these are the only 4 sessions we'll have that touch on AI, but this is the track that's going to be dedicated to that AI education. And as you can see, a maturity model for VARs and ISV growth. And we'll also be offering a session on vibe coding, how VARs and ISVs build lead gen tools without developers. So again, a lot of good proposals came in this year. We're really excited about the content that we've selected, and we'll be rolling out additional information about all of those sessions over the next few weeks. Jim, back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Kathy. A couple notes. If you saw in those photos, very full education sessions, right? Folks show up in Vegas to learn. They don't show up just to hit the tables. So you want to make sure you head to the rooms for education as soon as you can. Like Kathy said, map out your plan before you get to the event. And then also, the RSPA has been hosting a summer conference since the late 40s. I'm guessing back then they did not have any sessions on vibe coding. That is certainly something that is brand new for us. Now, one challenge is with all these great education sessions and then running concurrently, folks cannot be in 2 places at once. And that's always been a struggle especially for reseller organizations. Like, wow, I have to buy 2 passes in order for folks to get there. Chris, can you talk about how we help with the Bring One More program, please?
Yeah, Jim, as you mentioned, unfortunately, we have not figured out how to clone you just yet, but we are offering to Bring One More to bring an additional team member. So it's buy 1 VAR DISD pass, you get to bring a team member with you and no additional cost. It's complimentary. So RSPA, VAR, and DISD member companies who register for RetailNOW 2026 by July 24th will receive 1 complimentary pass for an additional team member to attend. Again, we've streamlined this process this year. So once you go to register, you'll be able to select your VAR DISD member pass, and then you'll also be able to select that Bring One More pass right from the registration page, allowing you to register yourself and a team member all in one stop. So be sure to get out there, register by July 24th if you want to just take advantage of the Bring One More. But if you register by July 16th, you also take advantage of early bird savings.
June 15th, Chris.
June 15th, sorry. June 15th, and you will get those additional savings. So register by June 15th to save money and take advantage of the Bring One More. Register by July 24th to take advantage of the Bring One More, as these will not be accepted on site.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so if you're a VAR DISD and you register now and take advantage of Bring One More, you can have 2 folks attend the event for just $395. Plus, you're getting a bunch of meals included in there as well, right? Going out to Vegas alone for the food is going to cost you more than whatever that would be, less than $200 per person. So yeah, by all means, take advantage of this. If you have any, everything should be able that you can navigate on the RetailNOW website. But if not, again, that email address is membership@gorspa.org, or member services managers are happy to help you out. So we've shared nothing but good news, good news, good news, but I got to share with you, be careful. So you may receive RetailNOW third-party hotel offers on attendee lists and other potential scams. Those third parties are not affiliated with the RSPA. So any communications you receive, whether it's phone, electronic, verbal, or print, is going to be directly from the RSPA. If you receive anything that's authorized, will be from the RSPA. If you receive anything about about RSPA, about Retail Now, but it's not from RSPA, be careful. Let us know, and we will make sure we try to track those folks down and do everything that we can do about it. I'm registered for another event, and I just got a phone call yesterday from somebody, and I'm like, oh, can I call you back? They're like, why do you need to call me back? I'm not going to give you my phone number, right? So there are these third-party scammers out there. Please, by all means, do not give them any information. Do not book a hotel room through them. Do all of that directly through the RSPA website or an email that you receive directly from RSPA. And also, I cannot emphasize this enough. Another thing you need to be careful of, that you don't show up at the wrong place. Don't go to the forum shops at Caesars. Do not go to Caesars Palace. You want to make sure you go first to where this year's event is being held. Again, that's at Caesars Forum Conference Center across the street from Caesars Palace and the forum shop at Caesars. If you want to go shopping, if you want to go gamble at Caesars, by all means, you can do that before or after the show. But everything for Retail Now this year is going to be at Caesars Forum Conference Center, again, attached to the Link Hotel and also attached to Harrah's Hotel. Again, they could have called it the Stacey Augmon Conference Center, named after the great UNLV basketball player from the 1990s, but nope, they chose to confuse everybody into the Caesars Forum Conference Center. But we will get it right this year. Again, if it's attached to Harrah's and Link, you know you are in the right place. All right, so that is everything we have. So now it is time to take action. So step number one is to register. Register for Retail Now 2026. And as we mentioned, if you register by June 15th, you get to take advantage of the VARs and DISDs, direct independent software developers get to take advantage of the early bird discounts, where they could save $200 by the early bird. If you have Bring One More, you get the additional pass as well. Then make sure you book your hotel room. Again, do that today. Space is limited on both of those hotel room blocks, and in many past years the room block has sold out. At the Link, it's going to be $175 a night. That includes the resort fee, but then there's tax on top of that. Harrah's is a little bit more, $190 per night. That includes a resort fee, and again, there's tax on top of that, but very, very affordable options. And those hotels are attached through a walkway, a breezeway that gets you right to the convention center, because in late July in Vegas, you do not want to be walking outside in order to do that, right? So stay minutes away, register for the event, book your hotel room, and then get ready to meet everybody where the industry meets. And if you're wondering, how do I register? You see the URL on your screen there, go.rspa.org/retail now. Or if you want to snap that QR code, we're going to leave this up for a little bit while we take questions, and you can register there as we are diving into it. So just snap that QR code and everything will rock and roll from there. All right, so we've got a few minutes left, and let's dive into some questions. Chris, do you want to start us off with the first question that was submitted?
Yeah, happy to do it. Christina Riddell is asking, when will all the education sessions be selected and announced? Kathy, do you want to take that one?
Yes. So you should be notified by let's call it the week of May 4th. We hope to have we will have all of those decisions made, and everybody will be notified.
Very good. So by the week of May 4th. All right, we have another education question here as well. Kathy, so if you can have this one. Are the education sessions advertorial? I go to a lot of events, and they are simply sessions where folks are pitching their products. So Kathy, do you want to take that one, please?
No, Jim. All of our education sessions are product agnostic. They are not sales pitches. And we have a community full of folks who are committed to this and actually help us to monitor this and ensure that those sessions remain non-promotional and education in nature.
Great. Just, everybody, before we got on, we were joking that our team gets along very well. We should argue. When I asked you, Kathy, do you want to take this one? And the answer was no. I'm like, uh-oh, we're actually going to start a fight here. But yeah, no advertorial. Can you also talk about the quality control that you have, Kathy, with the dry runs of education sessions before folks hit the stage at Retail Now? Talk about that process if you could.
Sure. So the process, when all of the proposals come in, obviously they're reviewed by staff here at the RSPA, but they're also reviewed by members of our Education Advisory Committee. So there are people in the community who are reading them and weighing in on them and giving opinions. And then we also have a process once your proposal is selected, you are committing to providing the content to us ahead of time and spending time with us to go through that content and do a dry run before you take the stage at Retail Now. Nobody goes on stage at Retail Now without having been through a dry run or rehearsal process so that we have seen what will be occurring during these sessions.
Great. Thank you, Kathy. And thanks for leading the way on that. As we showed, the rooms at the education sessions are full, and people go back again and again because they know it is the top education that you're going to get in the industry. All right. Hey, Chris Arnold, if you can take this next question. Will there be a new class for the Next Gen Rising Stars 50 under 40 announced at Retail Now?
Yeah, great question. Yes, there will be. In short, we had just closed our nominations and we are thoroughly looking at the candidates, but you will see at least at a bare minimum 10 new additions to the list, and we will put that new class on display at Retail Now 2026.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Yeah, lots and lots of great nominations there, so stay tuned. And again, if you're not sure about what the Next Gen Rising Stars are, just do a quick Google search, RSPA Next Gen Rising Stars, and you get to see the current class 25-26. There will be a 26-27 class as well. Very good. All right. Let's see. Next question we have here, Kathy. It's another one about education. Will education be held on the show floor?
Education is held separately, and we do not run education concurrent with show floor hours. We want to make sure that everybody's focused on relationships and partnerships during the show floor hours, and then education when it's time for education. As Jim mentioned, we have dedicated sessions for 4 blocks of education time, and that will be going on outside of show floor hours.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Kathy. This next one, I will take the first crack at this. It is, what is new for this year's event, right? Because there are a lot of folks who attend the show every year. They want to know what is new. So the first one that comes to mind is, as I've been continually harping on, is the new venue. We're at the Caesars Forum Conference Center that is attached to Harrah's and Link. I don't think there's many folks in our industry that have been to events at that conference center. It was launched in 2020, right in the middle of COVID. Perfect timing to launch a new convention center. I know the NGA, National Grocers Association show, has been held there at least once, but it is brand new. A lot of places that folks attend events have been around for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It is a gorgeous, very open convention center there. And then also the expo hall is like right down the hallway from the education sessions. Everything is at a very, very convenient place. Again, once you get over there, when you walk through from Harrah's and Link, everything's in one spot. So that is one, is the venue. Also the AI education track that Kathy talked about, again, a dedicated 4 sessions to AI, but then also, as Kathy alluded to, we've received a lot of nominations or speaker submissions, ideas for things that might fall into the other categories that'll blend, AI and some other topics as well. So the AI education track, again, we want to help folks cut through all the loud noise and all the distractions with AI and really get to what matters for the retail IT channel. Another new thing is extending the welcome reception, again, from 90 minutes to 2 hours because we've had so many folks where everything was going right through 90 minutes and we're like, stop talking, stop networking with each other, stop visiting the booths, which is kind of like the opposite of what we want folks to do at Retail Now. So we're extending that a little bit as well. We also, as you saw, switched up the schedule a little bit, where Monday is starting off with an education session followed by the general session. So we'll all kind of be able to kick off together and then all head into the expo hall on that Monday. And then also Tuesday morning breakfast in the expo hall. That is a new thing. Last year was breakfast on your own prior to the expo hall. So there's that as well. And then the last thing before I ask the team if there's anything else, 100 about 130 new members over the past 12 months. So there's going to be a whole lot of new faces that you haven't seen before in this space, especially in the software space. We see a lot of folks popping up with that. So if you've been to the show the last few years and like, I'm just going to see the same people, boy, that is not the case. We've actually studied year over year, and it's amazing how many new folks will show up at the event, right? If we get a little over 1,500 attendees, hundreds of them are new every single year they hadn't attended the prior year. Team, anything else new that we forgot about? Those are some of the highlights. Chris, Kathy, Heather, anything else new that you want to call out?
This is my first time attending, so.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Lots of new faces, Jim, and lots of new opportunities to connect. I think you mentioned it well with the new members, but like you said, there's always new faces and new opportunities that you don't want to miss out on.
Very good. And as Chris mentioned earlier, returning for the second year, we'll have the morning coffee station on the show floor and also that donut wall as well. So very good. All right. Hey, Kathy, this next one's for you. It's about the schedule. What time is the last session on Tuesday for making plane flights back home? You mentioned about we wrap up with back-to-back education breakout sessions.
Yep, the last session ends at 3, and so Retail Now 2026 will end at 3 p.m.
Very good. Thank you, Kathy. Heather, I'll have this next one for you because you're working with a lot of members who are exhibiting. Where can exhibitors find more details about the show? So if somebody's an exhibitor, where do they get more of the information beyond what's on the public website?
We do have a link to an exhibitor's hub. It will provide all of the guidelines pertaining to your display, setting up your booth, where you order your electric and your internet services, along with your audio and visual. And so you can reach out to your member service rep, and we will provide that exhibitor's hub link for you.
Excellent. Very good. Again, can't say it enough. Membership at GoRSPA.org. Next question. So Chris, if you and Heather can tackle this one, what's the best way for a new vendor to engage, support, and have a positive impact on the RSPA community through Retail Now? So Chris, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, Jim, with any new member, especially a new vendor, is definitely to engage with their member service manager. If they know who it is, definitely connect with Heather, Nicole, or Peggy. If you don't know, reach out to that membership at GoRSPA.org and we'll get you down the right path. But for a new vendor looking to engage, I would recommend booking a booth before they sell out. Again, we do have the first or second year exhibitor tabletops in the back. We do have 10 by 10s, all at affordable cost to help them get onto the show floor. If you're looking to really make a big splash, you could consider sponsoring, but we would definitely want to see what's your best outcomes and what you're trying to achieve before we go down that path. Again, attending the education sessions, it's not just there to listen, it's also a great way to engage with everyone. And then again, take advantage of the white glove service, which I'll turn it over to Heather, our member services manager, to share a little bit more of how they help them down that journey. Heather, you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. So one-to-one or warm introductions is a great way to kind of look at the attendees who are going to be there or the exhibitors that are going to be there, and reach out to us and let us know that the ones that you're interested in connecting with before the show, and we'll provide a warm introduction to announce that you will either be attending and you would like to connect, or that you will be exhibiting and you would like for them to their booth. provide those warm introductions pre-show. If you need help kind of curating a target list, we can do that not only by looking at the floor map to see who's attending, but we can also go through the members directory and help curate that list. And then as you are at the show meeting people and you're getting business cards and names, we will carry that on after the show as well, helping you reconnect with the people that you met through warm introductions and hopefully get some partnerships going.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, big advantage the RSPA has being in a year-round association, not just an event, is, when you go to an event, you bump into who you can bump into, but we've got, after the event ends, there's still a bunch of folks, if you didn't cross paths with them or something piqued your interest, we can make all those connections for you the remaining 362 days of the year. All right, we are almost out of time. Try to squeeze in 3 more questions. Chris, this is a really quick one. When will the lead retrieval service be available for exhibitors?
Yes, it will be available in mid-May. Be on the lookout for a communication from the RSPA.
Very good. Again, from the RSPA, only the RSPA. Anybody else who says they have the list of attendees for the show, they are not from the RSPA. They do not have the list. All right, next one. What is RSPA doing to help the smaller members attend the show affordably? We talked about Bring One More for VARs and direct independent software developers. So again, if you register the first pass, you get to bring one more team member at no charge. We also have that hotel room block discount. Again, both of those are under $200 a night, and then incredibly convenient to get to the event. You don't have to catch shuttles or lifts or anything like that in order to get to the event. You just walk right over the tunnel in order to do that. We mentioned the early bird discount by June 15th, save $200 off. Also, from a membership standpoint, memberships are very inexpensive. The smallest resellers pay only $250, and that saves you like about $1,000. I think it's either $1,100 or $900, depending on when you register, off the non-member pricing as well. We also mentioned meals are included, right? So if you show up for the event and you attend everything, you can eat Sunday night during the first look welcome reception, get breakfast before the education sessions. You can get lunch on the show floor, breakfast the next on Tuesday, and then lunch on Tuesday. So we'll be feeding you pretty much all the time that we are there. So that's, again, we help the smaller members. The association's been around almost 80 years, and it's all helping SMBs and those large companies who like supporting SMBs do better. So last question. You seem to be projecting an increase in attendance. We do. There's obviously some uncertainty out in the general industry, but there is always that case. We have really seen a hunger and an interest among our reseller and software provider members about exploring additional partnerships, right? They love the current set of vendors that they're working with, but they're always looking for, is there an alternative in case this other vendor can't come through for me? And they're also very high initiative, growth oriented. And so they're looking for somebody who can open up some new doors for them or increase some more annual recurring revenue, monthly recurring revenue with their current set of merchants. So yeah, we've been seeing a lot of interest already this year. And like you saw on the show floor, it's 80% sold out and registrations are coming in already. So yeah, we are very much looking forward to the event. Again, now we are down to, 94 days and a little over 4 hours till we have the event. So we got to get back to work. So again, if you need anything, if you want to register for the event, follow the QR code or the URL you see on your screen. Any questions you have whatsoever about Retail Now, or if the RSPA team can help you in any way, email membership@gorspa.org. Well, thanks for attending this year's town hall. We're glad you're able to join us today and can't wait for you to join us July 26th through 28th at Caesars Forum Conference Center, attached to Harrah's in the link, in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Hope to see you at Retail Now, where the industry meets. Thanks, everybody. Have a tremendous rest of your day.